16, I almost had like 2 beats. I had just started clapping on my damn.
Gonna be more belt for a little move money, man.
The story of VonOff1700, from Chicago's West Side to the drill scene. The person we're focusing on today is one of the young generation of Chicago street rappers.
It's all the same strip. All North Avenue was just the 1400 side, the 1500 side, the 1600 side, and the 1700 side. So it's just all congested into one. We all the same shit. All our blocks are ill. We just got different numbers. So it'll be 1400 North da 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 da, 1500 North da 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 da, 1600 North da 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 da, 1700 North da 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 da. But we all the same shit though, just all the different blocks.
Also, that's why I'm named VonOff1700, because you are.
1700 is affiliated with a group known as Toss Gang, a crew that was previously known as Snow Gang. Toss Gang is connected to a larger neighborhood set called LB Block, a well-known area with extensive history on Chicago's West Side. Their territory stretches across several blocks along North Avenue, spanning roughly from the 1400 block through the 1700 block. Despite being separated by a few blocks and different street numbers, members often describe the area as one connected neighborhood. As Von explained during an interview, it's all the same strip, all North Avenue, the 1400 side, the 1500 side, the 1600 side, and the 1700 side. It's all congested into one. We all the same thing. Our blocks just got different numbers. It'll be 1400 North, 1500 North, 1600 North, 1700 North. But we all the same, just off different blocks. When asked if that was where his rap name came from, VonOff1700 answered simply, "I'm on 1700. Facts." That block affiliation would eventually become part of his identity and branding as an artist. His early life. Before the streets became a major part of his life, VonOff1700 grew up much like many other kids in Chicago. He played sports, spent time with friends, and enjoyed video games. Basketball was one of his biggest interests growing up, and for a while he appeared to be headed down a relatively normal path. However, as he got older, he gradually became involved in street activity. Like many teenagers in neighborhoods where crime is common, he began hanging around older individuals and participating in activities that eventually pulled him deeper into that lifestyle. He later admitted that he was involved in things such as stealing cars and other forms of street activity while still young. By the age of 14, a major change occurred in his life. His mother decided to leave Chicago and move the family to Atlanta, Georgia. The relocation temporarily removed him from the environment he had grown up in, but it would not last forever. According to VonOff1700, he spent roughly 2 years in Atlanta before returning to Chicago around the age of 16. Even after returning, he frequently traveled back and forth between the two cities. Around this same period, his older brother, known as Brickoff1700, was already becoming involved in music. Brick was approximately 3 years older than Von and would play a major role in encouraging his younger brother's eventual rap career. Influences and losses. Like countless Chicago teenagers, VonOff1700 grew up listening to local artists. Among the rappers he has mentioned as influences are G Herbo, Lil Durk, Young Pappy, Polo G. These artists represented different eras of Chicago rap, but all had one thing in common. They spoke about the realities of growing up in dangerous environments. Unfortunately, VonOff1700's own life would be marked by tragedy at a young age. He lost several people close to him, including an uncle who was affiliated with LB Block and a childhood friend named Anton. According to VonOff1700, the death of Anton happened when they were both very young. Experiencing loss at such an early age can have a profound impact on a person's outlook. For many young men growing up in violent neighborhoods, repeated exposure to death often changes how they view life, relationships, and the future. By his own account, those losses affected him deeply. Jumping off the porch. As he entered high school, basketball gradually became less important. The streets became more important. Eventually, VonOff1700 stopped pursuing sports and became fully involved in neighborhood life. Around the same time, he also began experimenting with music. Seeing his older brother rap inspired him to give it a shot himself. What started as a hobby eventually became something more serious. He created a YouTube channel and began releasing music independently. In July of 2020, he released one of his early songs titled Walk Down. At the time, the song didn't immediately make him famous, but it marked the beginning of his journey as a recording artist. Like many drill rappers, he was documenting the environment around him while simultaneously trying to build a career through music. On February 14, 2021, Von turned 18 years old. Only a few months later, on July 14, 2021, he and his brother Brick would encounter law enforcement during a traffic stop.
No, it doesn't matter. 2 times.
Which one's the younger one? That's where he's going. 5555 West Grand. Ma'am, I will be able to tell you more.
The brothers were becoming increasingly active musically and were beginning to establish a local following. At the same time, however, Von was becoming increasingly active in the streets as well. The viral mugshot. Only weeks after releasing BIA, Von found himself in trouble again. Police attempted to stop him, resulting in a foot chase. While running from officers, he tried to jump over a metal gate. Normally, these gates remain locked and stationary. Unfortunately for him, this particular gate was unlocked. As he attempted to vault over it, the gate shifted unexpectedly. The movement caused him to lose his balance and fall directly onto the concrete. The impact severely injured his face. The resulting mugshot would later become famous online after his music career began gaining traction. Years later, Von would describe the incident. "I thought they was gonna speed past us. Then I realized they were trying to box me in. I hit an alley and started running. I tried to hop the gate, and after that, I don't remember nothing. I just remember waking up." The image quickly became one of the most recognizable mugshots associated with Chicago's newer drill generation. Jail time and the Capone incident. Following the arrest, Von reportedly spent roughly 10 months in jail. While incarcerated, he came into contact with a rival gang member known as Capone, who was affiliated with Sang Gang. The encounter would later become a source of public controversy. After both men were released, Capone claimed that Von had attempted to cop pleas while they were housed near each other in jail. Von strongly denied those accusations. According to his version of events, he confronted Capone directly and challenged him. Von claimed that before any fight could happen, Capone intentionally placed himself in protective housing. Their conflicting stories quickly became a topic of discussion among supporters of both groups. Capone maintained that Von wanted no problems. Von insisted the exact opposite was true. As often happens in street politics, both sides continued telling completely different versions of the same story.
He's involved in a foot chase. He hit his face on the concrete. And
Mugshots, let's just start there.
I look good on my mugshots though.
On this mugshot right here?
It depends on which one is popping up.
That one? Look at it.
Yeah, at first I thought they finna speed past us, how fast they was coming. But when the other one came, I seen like what they was trying to do. They was trying to box me in. So I got like to the end of the corner and then hit an alley. Now I'm running through the alley. When I'm running through the alley, went to like a side to a gangway and I tried like to hop the gate. And I think I fell. Cause I don't remember nothing after that. I just remember waking up after I jumped over the gate.
For the first time, it became clear that VonOff1700 was no longer just another neighborhood rapper from Chicago's West Side. He was beginning to build a name that people outside of his neighborhood, and eventually outside of Chicago itself, were starting to recognize. And just a few months after beginning to gain traction online, Von would enter 2024 with the biggest moment of his career so far. At the very start of the year, he released what would become his breakout single, On Deck. The track was built around a remix of Gucci Mane's classic song of the same name, but Von completely transformed it into something that felt modern and unique. Instead of simply rapping over an old instrumental, he blended the nostalgic sound of an early 2000s trap beat with the aggressive energy and fast-paced delivery that had become synonymous with Chicago drill music.
And he tell them like, yeah, I asked him who he was. If you know I'm your op, why are you asking me who I am? That's number one. Two, then he like, I tell him like, I ain't with this gang shit I claim. I ain't with that shit.
Oh, he said you copped a plea.
Oh, bro, I am the toughest nigga you know. And I'm a rapper, gang. If I'm a rapper from your hood,
The song exploded almost immediately after release. Within a short period of time, the video surpassed 1 million views, becoming one of the hottest records coming out of Chicago's underground scene. Fast forward to today, and the video sits at roughly 15 million views, cementing itself as one of the defining songs of Von's rise. When I'm in the play, if that op's on deck, I ain't even gonna speak on the op again. The success of On Deck gave Von the perfect launch pad. Instead of slowing down and enjoying the attention, he immediately went back to work. He understood that viral moments come and go quickly, and he was determined to capitalize on the spotlight while people were paying attention. Only a month later, in February of 2024, Von continued his momentum by linking up with the late rapper YBC Dull for a collaboration titled California Dreaming. The song generated significant buzz, bringing together two rising artists from different cities who were both building dedicated fan bases online. Fans appreciated the chemistry between the two rappers, and the collaboration helped expand Von's reach beyond Chicago. Not long after that, Von teamed up with Screw G for another major release titled Catch a Face. The track quickly became one of the biggest songs in his catalog and further established him as one of the hottest new artists coming out of Chicago. The song resonated with fans because of its raw energy, catchy delivery, and memorable lines. Over time, it accumulated more than 15 million views, proving that On Deck wasn't just a one-hit viral moment. Throughout these releases, Von also began popularizing several phrases that became closely associated with his music and persona. One of the most recognizable was bounce out, a term he frequently used in both songs and interviews. Another phrase that became a staple of his brand was, free my hood, fuck your hood. These slogans quickly spread among his fan base and became synonymous with his movement. Meanwhile, significant developments were happening in his personal life as well. In April 2024, his brother Brick was finally released from prison. The moment was celebrated by Von and those close to him, and around this same time, his musical output only continued to grow. Von released several notable songs during this period, including You Know That, a track that would later receive a feature from G Herbo. He also dropped Swing It, a collaboration alongside Tiski and Big E that became another fan favorite. One of the most memorable moments surrounding Swing It happened behind the scenes. While promoting the record, members of the group posted a controversial photo on Instagram showing themselves pointing firearms at one another, including fellow rapper No Limit Cairo. The image quickly spread across social media, generating discussions and reactions from fans and critics alike. A few months later, During an interview with Dem0n, the infamous picture was brought up. "You too big to be whooping like that. Don't let these nukes trick you out your spot to be whooping." VonOff1700 laughed about the situation, admitted that the photo had actually been his idea. "I don't even know why we took that picture, but it was my idea though." Dem0n jokingly responded, "So you the brains? You the mastermind behind this bullshit?" VonOff1700 continued laughing and replied, "That was no bullshit though. That was a nice picture though." As Von's popularity grew, so did the attention placed on his lyrics. Fans began analyzing nearly every bar he rapped, searching for possible real-life references hidden within his music. One of the most discussed examples came from his song Flame Out. In the track, Von repeatedly referenced a shooting being captured on camera and then replayed afterward. "We killed that guy on camera. Put this shit back. We watching this like a movie." The line immediately sparked speculation among listeners. Many believe Von was referencing a highly publicized gas station shooting that had occurred nearly a year earlier, in July of 2023. Surveillance footage from the incident showed multiple gunmen exiting a black Dodge Durango before opening fire on a victim standing outside a gas station. Reports stated that the victim, a 31-year-old man named Anton Benoy, was shot multiple times before the suspects fled the scene. Some online observers claimed that the driver seen in the footage resembled Von due to similarities in appearance, including what looked like eyeglasses. As rumors spread, VonOff1700 appeared to lean into the speculation rather than distance himself from it. At one point, he posted a photograph wearing clothing that fans believed closely resembled the outfit seen in the surveillance footage. Later, during an interview on No Jumper, he made comments that many listeners interpreted as references to the same rumors. "The cars we be stealing, some of the cars I don't even get in no more. Like RT Durangos, I don't get in them cars no more." The remarks only fueled additional discussion online. However, others pointed out inconsistencies in the theory. The victim in that case was reportedly associated with a neighborhood known as Bashtown and was not considered an active participant in the conflicts often discussed in VonOff1700's music. Additionally, the shooting occurred miles away from VonOff1700's neighborhood on Chicago's South Side. Because of this, some fans developed an alternative theory. They believe the incident VonOff1700 referenced was actually another gas station killing that took place months earlier in March 2023. In that case, a man named Anton Warren Smith, aged 27, was fatally shot at a gas station located on the 300 block of South Cicero Avenue in Chicago's Austin neighborhood. According to reports, two shooters approached Smith and opened fire before fleeing. The similarities between the circumstances of the shooting and the details mentioned in VonOff1700's lyrics led many fans to believe this was the incident he had been alluding to all along. Whether either theory was true remains unconfirmed, but the speculation demonstrated just how intensely people were analyzing his music. By April 2024, VonOff1700 had built enough momentum to release his debut mixtape, Free My Hood, Your Hood. The project was viewed by many fans as his strongest body of work up to that point. Packed with high-energy tracks, memorable hooks, and aggressive drill production, the tape showcased VonOff1700's versatility and growth as an artist. Many listeners praised the project for having very few weak moments, with some arguing that there were virtually no skips on the entire tape. Unfortunately, while his career was ascending, tragedy was striking people around him. During the same month, VonOff1700 lost a close friend named Michael Burdine Jr., who was from the 1400 block. The death deeply affected him and those around him. Shortly afterward, Von appeared on No Jumper and made headlines for controversial comments regarding ongoing street conflicts. "We is killing the Opps. I don't give no f***. We is killing they ass." When asked whether he was personally involved, he avoided directly answering and instead emphasized the collective nature of what he was saying. We, team, whatever you want to call it. The interview quickly circulated online and drew reactions from both supporters and critics. Among those responding was veteran Chicago rapper Z-Money, who had previously been affiliated with Gucci Mane's With Town 17 label. Z-Money dismissed the younger generation, stating that he didn't know many of the individuals now claiming his neighborhood. The back and forth escalated when VonOff1700 publicly accused Z-Money of receiving settlement money connected to a childhood abuse case involving a priest. The allegations quickly became a major topic of discussion online. The priest in question had eventually been arrested and convicted after numerous accusations surfaced. Reports indicated that approximately 25 boys had come forward as victims. Despite the severity of the allegations, many observers felt the sentence handed down to the priest was far too lenient. VonOff1700 claimed that Z-Money had received a large financial settlement and used those funds to support his lifestyle and music career. In response, Z-Money strongly denied the accusations during his own on the pain of losing people close to him. Just one day after Moo Money's death, another individual known as Munchie, an OTA member whom VonOff1700 had referenced in several songs, was also killed. The violence surrounding these events further intensified tensions between rival groups and fueled ongoing conflicts throughout the city. During the summer of 2024, members associated with OTAA even appeared in an interview where they claimed there was a $10,000 bounty for Von's glasses, a statement that quickly spread online and added to the growing mythology surrounding his name. Despite everything happening around him, VonOff1700's music career continued reaching people close to him and made it clear that those deaths continued to weigh heavily on him. As the year progressed, VonOff1700's success became increasingly visible. He signed a record deal, frequently posted large amounts of cash on social media, and appeared to be enjoying the rewards of his rapidly growing music career. Fans who had followed him from the beginning saw a young artist transforming from a local Chicago rapper into one of the most talked about names in the drill scene. His brother Brick was also continuing to pursue music following his release, adding another chapter to the family's growing presence in rap. By the end of 2024, VonOff1700 had established himself as one of the fastest rising artists in Chicago. Through viral songs, controversial interviews, major collaborations, and nonstop consistency, he had built a dedicated fan base and become one of the most discussed figures in modern drill music. Yet despite the success, the losses, rumors, and street politics surrounding him ensured that his story remained as complicated as it was compelling, leaving many wondering what the next chapter of his career would look like. As we head into an end of the story, there are many lessons we can take from this story. The story of VonOff1700, from Chicago's West Side to the drill scene. The journey of VonOff1700, whose real name is Devin Meeks, shows a story filled with ambition, talent, struggles, losses, choices, and consequences. Growing up in Chicago's West Side, especially the Austin neighborhood, he experienced the pressures of street life, gang conflicts, and violence, while also discovering music as a way to express himself. His story is not only about rap or the drill scene, it is about how environment, decisions, friendships, family, pain, and dreams can shape a person's life. From losing people close to him, facing legal problems, building a music career, and becoming known through songs like On Deck, his journey teaches many lessons. First lesson: your environment can influence you, but it does not fully decide your future. VonOff1700 grew up in Austin, Chicago, an area known for violence, gangs, and crime. Many young people around him were exposed to street activity from an early age. As a teenager, Von started moving away from basketball and normal childhood activities and became more involved with the streets. He began hanging around older people and participating in activities like stealing cars. The lesson is that the environment around you is powerful. The people you spend time with, the choices you make, and the lifestyle you accept can shape your future. However, his story also shows that environment is not the only thing that defines someone. He later used his experiences to create music and build something from his life. A person can come from a difficult place and still choose a different direction. Second lesson, talent needs discipline and direction. Von always had creativity and natural ability. His influences included artists like G Herbo, Lil Durk, Young Pappy, and Polo G. His brother VonOff1700 also influenced him by showing him music. Songs like Walk Down, Free Brick, and On Deck showed that he had the ability to turn his thoughts into music that people connected with. But talent alone is not enough. Many people have talent, but only those who combine talent with discipline, consistency, and focus create long-term success. Von's rise happened because he kept releasing music and improving his craft. Third lesson, pain and loss can change a person. Throughout his life, Von experienced many losses. He lost his uncle connected to LB Block, his childhood friend Anton, Michael Burdine Jr., Moo Money, other people around him. Growing up around repeated violence can change how someone sees life. For many young people in dangerous environments, losing friends becomes something they experience too often. The lesson is that unhealed pain can influence decisions. Loss can make someone stronger, but it can also create anger, fear, or a desire for revenge. How a person handles pain can determine their future. Fourth lesson, your name and identity can become your brand. The name VonOff1700 came from his connection to the 1700 block of North Avenue. At first, it was simply where he was from, but later then became his identity as an artist. This teaches that your background, story, and experiences can become part of what makes you unique. Many successful people build their identity around where they came from and what they survived. Your past can become your story, but it should not become your prison. Fifth lesson, every choice has consequences. Von's life included several legal problems. One major incident happened in 2021 when he and his brother Brick were arrested after a traffic stop where police claimed firearms and marijuana were found in the vehicle. Later, he faced another situation after running from police and injuring himself while jumping over a gate. These moments affected his life and career. The lesson is simple. Every decision creates a result. A choice made in one moment can affect years of your future. Success becomes harder when legal problems, conflicts, or distractions take attention away from your goals. Sixth lesson, family can be a source of strength. Von's relationship with his brother VonOff1700 was important. Brick was older and already involved in music, and he helped influence Von's interest in rap. They created music together, including BIA. Later, Von released Free Brick while his brother was incarcerated. This shows the importance of family support. Even when life becomes difficult, having someone who believes in you can make a major difference. Seventh lesson, success can bring both opportunity and pressure. After On Deck became successful, Von's career changed. The song gained millions of views and pushed him beyond Chicago's underground scene. He collaborated with artists like G Herbo and Polo G and became one of the most talked about new drill artists. But success also brought more attention, more criticism, more rumors, more pressure. The lesson is that success is not only rewards, it also creates new responsibilities and challenges. When more people watch you, every action becomes bigger. Eighth lesson, words have power. Von's lyrics often reflected his real-life experiences. Songs like Flame Out caused people to analyze his words and search for hidden meanings. His interviews and statements also created reactions. This shows that artists and public figures have influence. Words can inspire people, create conversations, or create problems. What you say matters. Ninth lesson, loyalty and street conflicts can have serious costs. The rivalry between different groups, including conflicts involving Toss Gang and Sang Gang, played a major role in the story. The deaths of people connected to these conflicts increased emotions and tensions. The lesson is that cycles of conflict often continue because each side feels they are responding to the other. But every conflict creates more pain, more loss, and more consequences. Many people become trapped in situations that began before they were even born. 10th lesson, A person's story is bigger than their mistakes. VonOff1700's story includes struggle, mistakes, music, family, loss, ambition, controversy. A person cannot be understood by only one part of their life. His journey shows how complicated human beings are. Someone can come from a difficult background, make mistakes, have talent, experience pain, and still try to build something meaningful. The biggest question is not only where someone started, but where they choose to go. My final thought. The story of VonOff1700 is a powerful example of how environment, choices, and ambition can collide. He came from a place where survival was often the priority, but he also found a way to turn his experiences into music that reached thousands of people. The biggest lesson from his story is this: your circumstances can explain your beginning, but your decisions shape your ending. A person may be surrounded by violence, pressure, and negativity, but the choices they make every day determine the direction of their life. Von's journey reminds us that talent can open doors, but wisdom, discipline, and good decisions are what help someone stay on the right path.